Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
Silicon Valley moved to Austin, then regretted it. Austin, though, interesting. I kind of thought Miami, but okay. Austin, they say.
This
Austin,
was the fastest growing
Texas.
city in the US just a couple years ago. Today, its home prices have fallen more than any other city in the country. So what is happening?
Remember when everyone said Austin is the next Silicon Valley?
So we moved
I
during
heard
COVID. They were
a
joking.
lot of people moving to Texas in general.
Yes, I heard that, but we kind of had a lot of, especially crypto people coming to Miami. So I kind of thought Miami is becoming the next thing, but I guess not.
They say, oh, don't bring California to Texas.
Tech companies were moving in. Elon Musk was tweeting about it. Property prices were going crazy. People called it the future of American innovation.
My rent was $1,800, so it like almost tripled over the past 2 years.
Developers rushed in building skyscrapers, new homes and offices.
Bungalow and Container Bar were like my favorite bars, and they're both just wiped out and they're construction war zones.
Oh.
But now, layoffs and empty office spaces tell a different story.
Prices are falling, tech jobs are dying up, and a lot of people who moved here, they're rethinking it.
As tech is returning to work, people are starting to leave Austin. I think there's a lot of people, even neighbors particularly, who
Wait,
are upset.
so tech jobs are returning to work?
I guess, used
And
to be work
leaving.
from home. Now we have to go to office. And,
Oh.
I'm thinking what happened was, people from California, because you can work from remotely, they bought a house in Austin, Texas. They live there, work from there. If you needed to fly to San Fran, the flight from Texas to San Fran, couple hours, it's not too far. The weather is good in Austin, it's cheap. I see. But if now you imagine you have to go to work every day, you're not gonna be flying every day. So I don't know. Let's see.
Down. When I talk to people and ask some why they've left Austin, the biggest reason I'm getting is this.
So what happened to Austin, Texas? And why did a city that looked unstoppable suddenly hit the brakes?
This is going to be the tallest building in all of Texas. It's getting ready to open, but if I was a developer, I would be freaking out right now because, as you can see, there's going to
But
be 800
honestly, looking at this, that's not what I would think Texas looks like at all. Looks very
Yeah,
modern.
very city.
Yeah, very city. Obviously, Austin, Texas is a big city, and it's kind of silly of me to say, oh, it don't look like. It's just you kind of have your idea
Yeah.
in the head what Texas
You
looks
see
like.
a little tumbleweed.
Yeah.
33,000 of total square feet. So during the pandemic, Austin became the place for tech workers escaping California. And the city was very appealing. I mean, if you think about it, Texas, or Austin especially, was a fun city. There wasn't a lot of COVID and regulations that you would see in California, like closed gyms or you must wear a mask in a grocery store. Also, no income tax and just a cheaper quality.
So that's funny. All these people, they vote Democratic. They want Democrats in the office, but they want Republican policies. Because they don't want, the Republicans were the ones that, fuck, no socialist, no nothing.
He said that it was who came in.
No, he's saying, Austin was fun. There was no COVID regulations. So they basically
Oh.
liked the people that support democratic governments. They like the Republican decision making.
Okay.
This is interesting.
of life, cheaper apartment, cheaper housing. So you could start to see why this place was so
I think it's
appealing.
more
Not to mention
they want the choice. I feel like people are rebellious when you tell them you have to.
warm
But, the Republicans kind of gave you a choice. You can wear a mask. They didn't say you cannot wear a mask. They said, we're not shutting it down. It's on you to wear a mask to protect yourself. That's a choice.
weather, a weird artsy culture, and way cheaper than the Bay Area. Big names came fast. Tesla announced its Gigafactory near Austin in 2020. Oracle moved its
factory?
area. Big names came fast. Tesla announced
What the fuck?
This is Tesla?
I guess, but look at the size of that building. Oh my God.
Wow. It feels like not enough parking spots.
Well, I think you need that space because you're building rockets, so like it's long. I get, but holy shit. I've never seen a building this big before. I don't think so.
its Gigafactory near Austin in 2020. Oracle moved its headquarters from Redwood City to
What
Austin.
is Oracle?
Dropbox,
Sounds familiar.
It's a database.
Oh.
Palantir, and Apple all expanded their offices. VC money followed. In 2021, Austin-based startups raised almost $5 billion. That was up 200% from 2019. Home prices also insane. Median home value in Austin in January 2020 was just $325,000. By mid-2022, over $550,000. That's
Wow.
a 70% increase in just over 2 years. For a while, it felt like Austin had won the tech lottery.
Just a few years ago, tech companies were racing here to Austin to open
Yeah, one tech lottery. I wonder how the local Austinians felt. The ones that work in
You
construction.
know what I heard? That taxes and the property taxes is very interesting in Texas.
How?
Like like the home can be cheap, but there's like other fees that you have to pay, and it's a lot.
Makes sense. They gotta make an income somehow, right?
Mhm.
Like if you have no this type of tax, then usually the other tax is more expensive.
Mhm.
Open up offices.
But then the cracks started to show. In late 2022 and throughout 2023, the tech industry slowed down. Interest rates rose, funding dried up, layoffs began. Nationwide, over 300,000 tech workers were laid off from 2022 to 2024. And Austin, as a growing tech hub, got hit hard. According to the Austin Chamber of Commerce, tech job postings fell 25% from 2022 to 2024. Companies paused hiring, and some
There you go, Trader Joe's.
even pulled out. At the same time, the cost of living skyrocketed, and the infrastructure couldn't keep up. People moved in, but the
I've never been
I-35
to
was a
one.
mess. There's no comprehensive metro system, and housing construction was delayed due to high materials costs. The dream started to feel off.
Right now, San Francisco and Austin are tied for having the most available office space.
Ooh.
27% of available office space is sitting empty in both of these cities. So now you can imagine when you're about to come to market with all of this space, who is going to be lining up for that space? It's going to be interesting.
In May 2022,
You
median
know,
home prices
that can change if they were able to rezone it easily.
Yeah, if they convert the offices into apartments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
were about $570,000, but by May 2024, they were just $435,000. That's a
Wow.
23% drop in a couple years. And with the growth slowing down, that's bad news for developers who are banking on, well, crazy more growth.
That's
There's
hard
not a
for
lot of
people
people that-
who buy homes to see it just
Yeah,
go
if-
down in value like that, because a lot of people say, "Oh, one of the safe investments is buying a home," because don't wait forever to buy because the prices will only go up. No one is talking about
Well-
this side of it.
They will go up. It's just, how long it's gonna take to go past that. If you're just looking to live, it's
Yeah.
okay.
But they're
If you wanna
paying
sell-
this price now, and they're locked in and stuck
right.
paying that price
It's bad
now.
luck. It is bad luck. But if you're gonna wait 10 years, it's gonna recover. You're still gonna
Mhm.
make money in that. If you just wait.
Now people they stay 10 years in the home.
That's their prerogative. I don't
I
know.
think that's a maybe an older philosophy, because usually they say what people do is they go and buy a home and they stay in that starter home for maybe 5 years. Then after they find maybe their potential forever home. But gone are the days people living in their homes for over 30 years.
Move to Austin that stay in Austin. They come in, get what they need to do, and then they kind of leave.
I think there was just this like hump in how expensive things were, and it's finally finding like its original level. I think it's still gonna crash because all of this is still finishing, so there's so much inventory that still hasn't been opened up yet.
Even worse, some neighborhoods saw price drops of over 30%, especially new builds in the suburbs that were bought during the peak frenzy. And it wasn't just prices, sales volume tanked too. Listings are staying on the market for over 70 days compared to just 18 days in 2021. A lot of people who bought at the top, well, they're stuck. Underwater mortgages are back in certain zip codes.
It was a lot cheaper to live in, and Austin was like, at the time at least, really cheap. My rent was $1,800, so it like almost tripled over the past 2 years being there, and then like the price of food's increased, the price of like everything's gone up. And it's still like very affordable now, and rent is like dropping like 40%.
Another big shift that's happening is the return to the office. So with more companies mandating their employees in the office at least a few days a week.
I think people just moved here thinking it wasn't gonna be as hot as it was, and also I think the remote work trend
I think, yeah, a lot of people here in Miami too, they move here, don't realizing a lot of things. Temperature, heat is one of the things.
Was it really hot for you when you first came? 'Cause I don't know what the hell everyone's talking about. To me, this is normal.
The summers are fucking hot. Um, for me, I guess, I don't know. I feel like I could bear the heat, but like for Eric when he came, like one time he was here in the summer, he was dying.
Mm.
Yeah, so one thing is with Miami is, yeah, the heat. People don't realize how hot it is in the summer, the humidity. Also, the crime rate. People, Miami, you think you see South Beach, you think it's all nice and dandy. Then you be driving down with your convertible, windows down, roof down, and you get robbed at gunpoint. Because you think, oh, you can flaunt your money. And this ain't it. This is not the city to flaunt your money.
is kind of dying, and people are going back to where they were originally working from.
During the pandemic,
It's not
Austin
Dubai.
thrived because people thought remote work was here.
Right, I don't know if you can get robbed in Dubai at gunpoint,
They
but
say you can.
you can't?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, Miami
They
ain't
say
Dubai.
Dubai is safe.
Miami, you take on the wrong turn, that watch, the car is gonna be gone.
To stay. But since 2023, Google, Meta, and Apple have all pushed return to office policies. So guess what? Many people who moved to Austin while working in San Francisco companies either had to move back or quit. Net migration of tech workers to Austin slowed by 40% between 2022 and 2024.
Even some of the companies that moved here left. So I think Meta was supposed to have like $1 billion lease in a new building. They dropped that.
And I know that Oracle used to be based out of Austin, and now they're looking to be based out of Nashville. So I think a lot of tech companies
$1 billion lease? What the fuck is that? What do you need a Meta? Like, I understand if Tesla's giant building was $1 billion. I'm like, okay, I get it. That's a big ass building. Meta? What the fuck you need a $1 billion lease for Meta?
I don't know how long they plan to lease it
What,
for.
100 years?
as well aren't like picking Austin.
While the concept of remote work didn't die, the hype did, and Austin felt the burn.
When I talk to people and ask some why they've left Austin, the biggest reason I'm getting is this.
I think a lot of Californians and a lot of people from like outside of Texas moved here, not thinking it was going to be like you hear like it's hot summers when it's like June, July, August, like it's 105 outside, and you can't even like leave the house.
Another thing I learned here is this. A huge part of Austin's real estate boom was investors, not actual locals. By 2022, over 28% of homes sold in Austin were to investors. Hedge funds, Airbnb owners, and out-of-state landlords piled in. They treated Austin like the next Miami or Scottsdale. But when the Fed hiked interest rates, those investors calmed down. Airbnb profits shrank, many homes
I
flooded the
wonder,
market. And with
in general, in respect to the home buying frenzy, how much of it were investors versus actual home buyers?
I think majority is investors everywhere. I think it's everywhere because, you know, it's a safe investment, as you just earlier said. Everybody says it's a safe investment to put cash in. So you just buy it because, you know, eventually it's going to bounce back. If you just have cash, kind of want
But
to
why
fight
at
the
that
inflation.
time? Why at that time was the time for everyone to buy?
Because
now?
everybody had a lot of cash from COVID.
Investors?
Yeah, everybody. I think everybody had cash saved up from COVID. Because a lot of people made a lot of money in COVID.
fewer real-end users buying, prices had to adjust. And that's a big reason why Austin's price correction was the steepest in the country.
Behind me is what's called Waterline Tower. This is going to be the tallest building in all of Texas. They started construction in 2022, anticipating a massive, massive boom. The building will be ready in 2026.
Let's be clear, Austin didn't crash, it just kind of came back to earth. The population is still growing, though a lot slower, around 1.3% in 2024. That's down from 3% in 2021. Companies are still hiring and many have big campuses. Austin's job market is stable. Unemployment is under 4%. But the idea that it would become a tech utopia overnight, well, that's no longer realistic. What Austin's going through is what many cities experience after a boom. It's a correction, a rebalancing, a reality check.
Yeah, I think same in Miami. Now kind of we have a correction going on. A lot of people are leaving because they learned of the things I just said earlier.
It's actually crazy how much Google I'm seeing. You have a massive Google logo at the top of that building. And it
Do
seems
you
like
think they go back to where they were, or
don't
do
know.
they find? Because then, what would be the point to go back to where it was?
You know, the thing is, the grass is always greener on the other side.
Yeah.
And when you come to a place for a vacation, you don't really see the real life. You come when you start living there. Then that's like, you know, we do a lot of these European reactions, and everybody's like, "Oh, Europe is so good. Europe is this, that." Compared to the States, that's cute. But you know, I live there. I come from Europe. I can tell you, it's not all. And you know, in these videos, I comment a lot. That's not how it is. That's not how it is. Because those people usually they go there, they stay there for like a couple of weeks, a month, and they're already making videos how great it is. Europe has its benefits, so does America. You got to pick and choose which ones are more important to you. Each has the trade-offs.
a big part of that building is for Google. And then you just cross the street and you see way more Google stuff, the whole lobby, the logo. It's really fascinating.
But I think the key is what we've really been seeing through the reactions of Open Mind is Finland is they said content. They're content.
Yeah.
They don't have it perfect, but they're okay with what they have. So like whether you're in Europe or in the States, to find that happiness, you have to just be content with what you have. Yeah, there might be something better out there, but just don't go looking for it, because if you have what is good, it's acceptable. It's okay to settle. Like you don't always have to find the best things. I feel like some people fall.
The bigger, better deal.
Right, myself too. I always trying to improve, get it bigger. But like something I wish to learn what the Finns have is content. Just be, okay, I'm mediocre. It's okay. I accept that. I'm happy being mediocre.
fascinating here. It's really kind of intriguing to me because I don't see this much outside of New York or Silicon Valley.
So here's my lesson from all this. Boomtowns can bust. No matter how hot something seems, if the fundamentals aren't there, like the infrastructure and affordability and long-term growth, it won't last. Remote work isn't a forever guarantee. Basing your life on a Zoom job might be the safest long-term move. Don't buy real estate during FOMO. If you bought a $600,000 home in Austin in 2022, that might be worth $470,000 now. Ouch. And cities are more than just trends. Austin is still awesome. Music, food, lifestyle, it's all still there, but the hype cycle is pretty much over.
Waterline represents the peak of Austin's boom, but will it also represent a sign of its crash? Some experts say these developments, especially the luxury ones, are too much too fast, and that the demand is just not going to keep up with all of this new supply.
The last few years have been a reminder that real growth takes time.
Austin's a creative city, so it does attract sort of people who like to migrate for periods of time, do something, then they kind of head out.
I think the only thing keeping Austin from being just as good as LA or just as good as like one of the SoCal cities is just the fact that it gets scorching hot for like 6 months out of the year.
It's very much the Texas attitude is, if you dream it, do it. There's the Texas outlaw spirit is still pretty strong.
This city is still evolving, but the so to speak gold rush is probably over. So is Austin's boom over, or is this just a correction? Will things kind of settle themselves out in the next couple years? I want to know what you think, so let
I would be curious to know for Florida too.
Maybe we'll see a video about Florida. We can react.
Florida. Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord, and Zoys, share as much kindness as possible.